I'm going to promise you something. When you get through watching today's show, you will be talking about it tonight. All right? You will. Here's a question for you. Who do you think tells more lies? Yeah? Well, men lie 6 times per day on average, while women lie about 3 times per day. I'll guarantee you it was a woman who put this in prompter. Today we're going to get to the truth about lies because people are lied to between 10 and 200 times a day. That surprise you? Yeah, you're the one doing the lying, so I think my first guest beats that record. Katie says her husband John lies about everything from his job to having what could be a terminal illness. She is sick of his endless lying and needs to hear the truth. She wants to hear something come out of his mouth that is not a lie, and she wants my help to make that happen today on this stage. Take a look.
I believe my husband is a pathological liar. I am 98% ready to pack my bags and leave this marriage for good. My husband did lie about having testicular cancer.
The reason why I lied is I just wanted the attention and no other explanation for it.
He went on with this lie for 6 months.
I do have a lump on my testicle the size of a nickel that I use as a lie to say testicular cancer.
My husband still has not admitted to me to this day that he has lied about it. We have lost our house because of my husband's lies.
I did tell my wife that I would have enough money to keep the house as long as my paychecks were coming in, but my paychecks were never coming, and then we got evicted. I actually lied to the landlord for about 6 months just so we can stay there.
He stole approximately $3,000 from me a few years back, and he completely lied about it. I had my money in a cookie jar.
I guess I believed I was entitled to some of the money. I wasn't. I told her I took a couple hundred. I actually took more than that.
I confronted my husband about it, and he told me that it had to have been somebody else. He has not paid me back. We have argued on a daily basis regarding his lies.
She bitches at me, puts me down, yells at me, says that she's gonna leave.
I don't know what to do anymore. That's why I do lash out and yell and scream and call him names.
I tell her all the time that she doesn't do a damn thing. It's my job to pay the bills, pay the rent. I don't have a bank account for a reason. I do everything cash. I haven't showed her a pay stub in 5 years. I'm all about me. I probably shouldn't be, but I am.
I am at the end of my ropes with him. I don't think I can handle another lie.
I think Dr. Phil's gonna rip me a new one. That's what I need. I need somebody to put me in place, and that's what I want.
Okay. All right, look, let me just be real straight up with you guys because I work real fast. I cut to the chase. I'm going to tell you the truth as I see it. You want truth?
Yes.
You're going to get it from here. I don't know about over here, but you're going to get it from here. So I'm going to get right straight to this. You willing to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're a liar,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
You've known him how long?
About almost 12 years.
Okay. And you've been married how long?
A little over a year.
And you have a baby how old?
He's almost 9 months.
Okay, so you had a baby. You got pregnant with him in the 11th year of knowing him.
Yes.
You knew he was a liar the year you met him. Mm-hmm. True?
True.
You knew in year 1 he was a liar.
Yes.
In year 2, you knew it for sure.
For sure.
In 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you knew lie after lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, are you a slow learner?
No.
But yet, you not only continued with him year after year after year, but then you decided, here's the idea, I'll have a child with him. So I not only subject myself to this deception, betrayal, I will bring an innocent child into this world so the child can be subjected to this for the rest of their life. What the hell are you thinking?
I don't know. I
What?
honestly don't know.
Well, come on. I don't know is not an acceptable answer. That is a lie by omission. So don't you join him in lying to me. You do know. You have a theory about this. What is it?
I don't know. I love him and
Okay, so
I
you're
just
not
hope-
ready to talk to me then. So you can think about that for a
Okay.
few minutes, okay? John and Kate says his lies have affected their sex life. I mean, it's affected it now. Let's look at this.
When I thought my husband had testicular cancer, we did not have a sex life for the simple fact that I assumed that it would hurt. I didn't know if anything was going on in there, so I kind of wanted him to heal and to take his medicine. Then once I found out that it was a lie, that he did not have testicular cancer, there was just no sexual attraction.
I'm not very intimate with her at all. I haven't been since 6 months ago. I'm not one to have sex.
I believe my husband is cheating on me. My friend told me that he had seen my husband's profile on a dating website. I confronted him about it, and he told me that it was absurd. It breaks my heart that there might actually be a profile of him trying to be with somebody else.
I've never gone on a dating website. I think my wife thinks I'm cheating on her, but I'm not.
Okay, so we've already agreed you're a liar. Okay, and you've been a liar for a long time.
Long time.
You didn't start lying when you met her. You've been a liar.
Since I was, as far as I can remember, since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Okay, so why?
I don't have an explanation. I really don't. That's why I'm here.
Okay, you do have an explanation.
It's what my brain does. It's what I do. I don't have an
But
explanation.
why do you lie?
I don't know.
What you do know.
You may know, but I don't.
No, you do know.
Okay.
Why do you lie? What do you get out of it?
Make myself look better.
Yeah.
Get what I want.
Does it work?
Yes.
Most of the time it does. You get away with it most of the time,
Most
right?
of the time, yeah.
And you get away with her most of the time, right? In the moment, you get away with it.
Yes, I do.
Because she chooses to believe it even though you have a long history of lying.
Yes.
Because see, a lie is really not powerful. It doesn't really have any power. The power with a lie comes when you choose to accept it. So you power him up every time you believe his lies, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll believe you. You lied to me yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before and the day before, but today I choose to believe you. Then that assigns power to his lie. So you're not a victim, you're really a volunteer each time you continue to do that. And you get rewarded for it, and you pretty much know that you can talk her into it and she'll buy it, right?
I pretty much know I can talk anybody into anything.
Yeah, well, you can't talk me into doodly squat.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Why lie about the cancer? What did that get you?
Just attention.
Yeah.
I wanted the attention, that's all.
And how did that feel when you got that attention?
Good.
Yeah.
Felt like I actually was cared about from everybody around me.
You've done a lot of different things that have been very painful. I mean, this woman has stood by you and you just keep slapping her in the face. How do you feel about that?
I feel horrible. The reason why I don't tell her the truth is because I don't want her to leave me.
So you feel horrible. Why do you smile when you say you feel horrible?
I don't know.
Now you're not smiling when I pointed it out.
Because you pointed it out, right?
Yeah. See, liars will tell you they feel horrible about something, but they'll smile because they're actually proud that they were able to pull it off. Mm-hmm. How about that? I mean, she is something else. She is beautiful and she's intelligent, and I got her to put up with this for 10 years. That's like a victory for you, isn't it?
I don't want to say yes, but yes, it is.
I mean, based on results, it is. I mean, somebody this...
She's been by me for 12 years.
Yeah, you're smiling again.
I'm happy because she's been by me for 12 years. That's why I'm happy.
Yeah, you pulled it off. And there are lies that she doesn't know about, right? Mm. Yeah.
I would say 40% of my life with my wife is a lie. I lie to my wife at least once, twice a day. It could be about the smallest thing to the biggest thing. It does make me feel good to lie because I feel like I'm making myself look better.
Well, John is a self-admitted liar who lied to his wife, Kate, about having testicular cancer. So what else has he lied about? Well, I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, I asked you a question up front. I said, why? And what I was saying is you had year after year after year after year after year to kind of learn this, but yet you stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed and put yourself in harm's way. You said, well, we had a baby we didn't plan. Well, you put yourself in harm's way and allowed yourself to get pregnant with him. Then you got married because your father said, hey, you know, you don't have babies out of wedlock, so you got married. I'm just saying, what is it in you? You need to know this. You need to know this about yourself. Why were you willing to continue to settle for this?
I don't know, because I assumed he would eventually, that he loved me good enough that he would stop lying.
What would happen that would cause that to happen? Just like on a Wednesday morning, he would just wake up and go.
Not to, but yes, pretty much that he would just wake up one day and say, I have a great marriage, I have a great son, let's start a brand new day without lying.
I've written a new book called Life Code. You've read it, right?
Yes.
Actually, my son Jay published it, and we did this together because a premise of the book is that the world has changed. It was interesting to do this with my son because I was born into a very different world than he was born into, and his children, my grandchildren, are born into a very different world than he was born into. This world is changing. And I talk in there about the fact that if we don't adapt to the world we're in now, if we don't prepare our kids for the world they're in now, if you don't prepare your child for the world that exists now, then you're not doing your job as a parent. And I say in there are some people in this world we need to be aware that are out there to take advantage of us. And I call them baiters, right? That's backstabbers, abusers, imposters, takers, exploiters, and reckless. They're a baiter. And I said how you can spot them, right? The evil 8. You said he scored 8 out of 8, right?
Yes, 8 out of 8.
You believe that?
Yes.
Do you think you score 8 out of 8? The evil 8, you can see them coming. There they are. Arrogant entitlement. Clearly, you score on that, right?
Yeah, everybody owes me something.
Arrogant entitlement, lack of empathy. Does he seem to be brokenhearted about the pain he's causing you?
No, not at all.
Of course not. No remorse or guilt. These people have no remorse or guilt. Irresponsible and self-destructive. I mean, how self-destructive are you?
Close to blowing up.
Yeah. I mean, thrive on drama. You know, brag about outsmarting others, short-term relationships, fantasy world, delusional. John told us there are even more lies he has not revealed. Let's see what he had to say.
There are some lies that my wife does not know about. I haven't been working for a year. I was pretending to go to work. I would leave the house at around 7 a.m. I'd have to be home by about 5:15. I would come here 2 to 4 hours a day to the mall to eat, sit here by myself, play video games, kind of like my alone time. This is the library. I would spend 3 to 5 hours down here looking for a job, playing on Facebook. One time I told my wife I was going on a 3-day job training program. When in actuality I didn't, I went to hang out with a friend for 3 days. Kind of taking a break. I did not feel guilty about it.
Okay, so this was for how long?
How long did I do this for? I
Yeah,
did this
how
for a
long
year.
did you keep this up?
A little over a year.
14 months, year and 2 months. You thought he had this job.
Yes.
He never had a job. So for a year and 2 months, you went to work, but you didn't have a job.
No, I did not.
What do you think about that?
I can't believe that.
This is why I don't tell her the truth, because I don't want to see her like this.
She's like this because you didn't tell her the truth. She's not like this because you didn't have a job. She's like this because you told her you did and didn't.
I don't want to let my wife down. I see it as at least I was bringing some kind of money home, even though we lost the house.
You were bringing unemployment money home.
Right.
He would send you texts. Just getting to work.
Every morning,
Yeah, taking my lunch break.
every day.
You're smiling again
I know.
because you're
smiling-
thinking
no,
that was good.
no,
You know,
I'm-
you're thinking that was good,
Now I'm
right?
smiling out of nervousness. to be
Yeah,
honest
no,
with
you're smiling because you think you're smarter than everybody else. Here's another lie that Katie doesn't know about.
you. My wife does not know that I hospital hop for hydrocodone pills. For somebody that doesn't know, it means I would go to one hospital. If they didn't give me what I want, I go to another hospital. If they don't give me what I want, I go to another one until I get what I want. I would tell them any kind of ailment to get my prescription. I would come up with a different story every time. I currently am using 4 times a week. My wife does not know that I've been using hydrocodone.
Okay, so how much hydrocodone are you taking?
4 a day,
You're taking 4 a day,
4 at a time, at once.
and there's
10 milligrams, either 7.5s or 10s.
and there's nothing wrong with you.
I have aches and pains just like every other person. But nothing that should be prescribed to me.
Yeah. So you're taking drugs that you don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you tell the hospital?
I just come up with asinine stories to get what I want.
Yeah. You're smiling again.
Okay.
You smile when you've pulled the wool over somebody's eyes. It's a pattern.
Okay.
Just so you know, because you might want to refine that.
I don't refine anything.
So you're taking like 40 milligrams of hydrocodone at one time. You take it in the mornings, and you get
Lasts all day.
you get a buzz on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that?
I don't know what to think about that one. It's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
I said it's disgusting.
Does he get aggressive with you?
Sometimes, when I corner him, when I know he's lying and I've caught him in a lie, and I ask him about it and I confront him, that's when he starts to get a little nasty, because he knows he's caught.
We tried to contact your mother and your family.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to talk to them to verify some of the things that you had said about what happened to you early in your life, and you didn't want us to do that.
It's not that I didn't want to. I really don't talk to my mom like that.
Yeah. Well, we asked you for your mother's number, and you claimed you didn't have it. We asked you for it again, and you said you didn't even know where your mother lived. We asked you about it a third time, and you said you didn't want them knowing anything about you or where you were. Then you said it was too late to call your relatives, that you would call in the morning. And then you said you did call them and nobody called you back. But all in all, you just never came up with any information.
This is about my marriage. This is about my mother.
Yeah, but you didn't say that.
But it is about my marriage. That's why I contacted you, because of I don't want
But
to
you
lose
didn't
this marriage.
say that when we asked you. You gave us a bunch of dodge. And all you do is just say, didn't want you to talk to them.
I'd rather make an elaborate story for some reason.
Yeah, and which we would have respected had you just said that.
Okay.
But instead, it's
Duck and
just
dodge.
an awful lot of work.
Gets me through the day.
It's a lot of work. You could have had a lot more free time to go to the library or whatever you do.
My family kicked me out when I was 15. From 16 to 19, I sold myself. I would sleep with people to get money. I do hate that I stooped that low. I was sleeping with men and women. I am not gay or bisexual.
Sometimes I worry that he will resort to his old ways of selling himself to try to financially support his family.
I would never stoop to that level ever again. I'd rather be homeless than do that.
Well, that was John, a self-admitted liar who waited 1 full year after meeting his wife Katie before revealing that he had sex in exchange for money at an earlier time in his life. Now, did that concern you?
A little bit, yes.
You kind of have this flat affect and this kind of absent demeanor about you. And it's not that you're in shock at all this. You've been living with this. We just got here. You've been living with this for 12 years. So what is going on? Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I don't know what to think. I just feel like there must be something wrong with me then, if I kept allowing it for this long. So is the problem me instead of him because I allow this over and over again? I'm just confused, really confused.
About?
Everything. I don't know what to think. I know I should have never let this go on, but then obviously I let it go on. I don't know why. Well, because like I said, I always had that small little glimmer of hope that he was going to change. And that's what I go through in my head on a daily basis, that someday he loves me enough that he's going to change for me.
What is going to be the change agent? What's going to happen that's going to change him between year 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6? What was it you thought was going to happen that was going to change him?
That he would just wake up and realize what he had, so that he didn't need to lie, that he didn't need to do what he was doing.
You just thought he would just get better.
Yes.
Just
Honestly,
wake up and
just-
get better.
Yes, for him to realize one day that he would just wake up one day and realize what he has and that he wouldn't do what he was doing. So every day in my head, I keep telling myself he's going to change.
What do you think now?
I don't think he's ever going to change. I still have that hope that he's going to change, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have any questions for me?
My question is my whole thing is my marriage worth saving? And now my question is there something wrong with me that I'm allowing this to happen day in and day out?
Okay, my answers are maybe and yes. Maybe it's worth saving, and yes, there's something wrong with you. And I'll explain those if you want me to.
Yes, I want you to.
Okay. Now, your question for me is this worth saving, or can it be saved? Maybe. I don't know. That depends on a lot of things that I'll explain here in just a minute. You said, is there something wrong with me? Yes, you're an enabler. I mean, you're living in a fantasy world. I mean, look, there ain't no Santa Claus. I don't know where you come down on the Easter Bunny, but you got to live in the real world here. You know, I talked about life code, and you've read that book, and there are a couple things where I talk about the Sweet 16, about what winners do. You know, winners do things losers don't want to do. And winners do what? They deal with the truth. You're living with a pathological liar that will take this whole family down. He will put you in bankruptcy. You've lost your home, right?
Yes.
You now have a child. Come on. How much disaster are you going to let be dealt here before you go, hey, wait, deal with the truth? There is a cancer here, but it is not testicular. It is marital. Deal with the truth. Wake up and deal with the truth. You know, get the haze out of your eyes and deal with the truth. You have a toxic partner here. Deal with it. Deal with the truth. Winners deal with the truth. That's the truth. Quit telling yourself he's just going to wake up and get better. You are an enabler. You are an enabler. You are enabling him to lie to you. You give power to his lies by believing them, acting on them, pretending that they're true. You two sit around there and say, okay, he doesn't have a job, but let's the two of us pretend that he does. And today, we'll pretend he has a job and that we're a nice little couple sitting out here taking care of everything. Feels good in the moment, let's do it. I know it's not true. Every fiber of my body tells me it's not true. But today I'll pretend it is. Are you kidding me? You know it won't work, right? You just needed somebody to tell you, right? Hello?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Come on. Listen,
No.
This is your time. This is your moment. You wrote me a letter, right? You wanted to come here. You wanted to talk to me. You wanted somebody to wake you up. Wake up. Somebody needs to grab him by the scruff of the neck and shake the lies out of him. You got to stop enabling him. And he's got to understand he's got to start telling you the truth. He can't do that on his own. He's going to need professional help. And I'm going to get him professional help, and you with it. You have to wake up. You have to decide. You have an undivided loyalty right now to your child. You have to take care of this child, okay?
Okay.
And to do that, you got to wake up.
I know I need something needs to change.
Yeah, and so you need some help to figure out, look, I don't have to put up with this. So if you made a mistake, then admit you made a mistake. The only thing worse than being in a bad relationship for a year is being in a bad relationship for a year and 1 day. The only thing worse than being in it for a year and 1 day is being in it for a year and 2 days, and days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, and before you know it, your life is over. Deal with it now. Deal with it today. Wake up and realize you are in a toxic situation that needs to be dealt with right now today, and stop enabling this man.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Look, you've lied to us. And listen, for somebody that understands lying, you're really not that good at it. I'm sorry. Liars have tells. Okay, you have tells. I pulled a couple of examples. Watch what he says and watch what he does with his head. It's subtle, but if you know what to look for, you're gonna see him say something affirmatively, but you're gonna see him nod negatively while he's saying it. Watch this.
Reason why I lied is I just wanted the attention and no other explanation for it.
The reason I lied is I wanted attention and no other explanation for it. Do you see him not saying no with his head? You want to see it again?
Reason why I lied is I just wanted the attention and no other explanation for it.
It's subtle, but he's saying no other explanation for it. Now, watch when he says something and he's telling the truth.
I do hate that I stooped that low.
He says, I do hate that I stooped that low. He meant that. And his head was saying it when he was saying it. That's just one subtle point. There are many, many. He's not that good at it, actually. You got to really want to believe him. You're just persistent. You're not good. You're just persistent.
Mm-hmm. I have a good memory.
Well, you really don't. On cross-examination, you'd come apart like a cheap suit. When you hear people say the truth will set you free, there really is a certain degree of freedom that comes from just saying, you know what, I'm just going to tell the truth because what the hell? What have I got to lose? I mean, I am a confessed liar. She knows that I lie. I can tell you that this woman and the therapist that she is going to work with is going to offer you amnesty. They are going to say, put it up. Just put it out there on the table. And whatever you put on the table today, we will work with. But it's got to all be out there today. You lie about one thing comes out the next month that you've lied about, it's a game ender. Put it on the table. And then from that point on, man, just tell the truth. You got a job? Nope. Nope. I don't. Did you go there like you said you did? I did not. I didn't. I should have, and I didn't. I mean, just tell the truth. It is so freeing, you have no idea. You get to be my age, you figure, what the hell? You know?
You got nothing to lose.
Tell the truth.
You have nothing to lose.
Just tell the truth. And you really, it is a very freeing thing. And this is something you will learn because you have worked so hard to build this menagerie of fantasy in your life. You will be so freed by this.
Do you know how well free I feel right now that she knows the stuff that I was lying to her about?
No, I do. I do know how. I sense it in you. I seriously do. The tension is leaving your face. I believe, that's why I say I have hope for you. I really do. Because, you probably expected me to say this guy's a loser and a liar, kick his ass to the curb and move on. And that may be what you expected me to say. But I am the incurable optimist. I believe that people can really work to change if they want to change. And I think you got into a habit and a pattern that can change. I really do think that. I do think that. And if you will take the help and you really will decide, I'm going to embrace a new lifestyle, I believe you can man up, step up, and be a husband to her and a father to your child. And for once in your life, have something that you earned and deserved instead of stole and got through deception. Don't you want that?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice to have something that you truly earned and deserved?
Yep.
How would that feel?
Greatest thing in the world.
It would be something, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Are you willing to work on this?
Yes.
And if he lies to you, there will be a discontinuation criteria that says, that's it. If he lies to you again, you got to cut bait and go. And that'll be his choice, not yours.
Okay.
All right. All right, we've been talking about liars today, and I have a question for you, those of you in the audience. How many of you think you can spot a liar? Okay. You know, and how many of you have read on the internet and places like that all these ways that you can spot a liar, like they look up and to the right or they look down and to the left? How many of you have seen all that stuff? Yeah, okay. Most of that's crap. I mean, seriously, you give people that and then you put them in there and they get a liar about 50-50. So you can flip a coin and get it about half the time. It's basically not true. But actually, there are ways that give you the ability to spot a liar about 90% of the time if you know what you're looking for. And so I want to talk about that. Now first, let's talk about why people lie. Okay, you want to know why people lie? Let's talk about that. There are basically 3 reasons people lie. Number 1, they lie to bridge the gap between the mundane reality of their life and the fantasy that they wish they had. 2, you do it to access desired currency. You want what you want, so you lie to get it. And then you do it to escape accountability. Oh, I didn't break the lamp. I mean, kids figure that out quick. No, I didn't break the lamp. They're standing there with a lampshade over their arm, but they didn't break the lamp. That's an unsophisticated lie. Now, here are ways that you can actually spot a liar. The first category is what I call verbal gaming. Now, understand that communication is only 7% verbal. You know, I used to be a litigation consultant when I had a real job, and people would say, you know, Dr. Phil, can you really read what a juror is thinking? I'd say, yes, of course. Only 7% of their communication is verbal. I watch what they do when a witness is on the stand, and they're screaming what they're thinking. So yes, I can't control what they're thinking, but I can tell you what they're thinking. Sometimes I'm telling my clients, you better settle because they're going to hang you on the courthouse steps. So what do liars do? They answer questions that aren't asked. Think about that. Your husband comes home and you say, oh, how you going? Oh, we've been over at Bob's house, and yeah, we were working out in the backyard on the mower. And, yeah, you didn't ask about the mower. Why is he telling you all of this? He's answering questions that aren't asked. They give too much detail. Why? They're filibustering. They're keeping you away from what they don't want to talk about. They go off on tangents. They get really formal in their language. Liars get formal. What do I mean by that? They drop out contractions. It's rigid. And watch for them to frame the truth. When somebody says, they're talking along, said, all right, now to be completely honest, oh, you're getting ready to hear a big lie now. And what does that do? Tell you everything else they've been telling you is a lie? You've been talking for 10 minutes, they say, now, to be completely honest, what? Or, all right, in all candor, what? That means they're getting ready to tell you a big lie. Listen for those things. Okay, now, nonverbal? Okay, we saw one here. They say yes, but they're shaking their head no. They say, oh, yeah, I'll meet you over there in just a few minutes. They ain't coming. They ain't coming. Now, this is involuntary. They cannot overcome their nervous system. Their nervous system is saying, not coming. Yeah, I'll be there. You bet. See you over there. Can't do it. They just can't do it. Now, there are stress tells. Facial touching. Now, this is one of the things you probably read that is true. They can't control themselves. They start touching their nose or their face, and they try to cover their mouth because they are not comfortable with what they're saying. It's like, yeah, no, good, yeah. Shallow breathing. See, when you lie, there is an arousal. And so they breathe off the top of their lungs, so they need more frequent breaths because they don't breathe out of the bottom of their lungs. And they purse their lips. So they breathe differently. So watch for changes in that, and you'll see differences in blink rate, facial touching, these things which are tic behaviors that come with nervousness. And personal space is really important. They'll do everything they can to wall themselves off. They'll put a purse in their lap. They'll try to get behind a table or a chair. They'll do anything they can to wall themselves off from you because they need a barrier to feel safe. Or they'll back away as much as they can distance-wise. Attitude is important as well. If somebody really is wanting to help, they will cooperate with you. Hey, anything I can do? Seriously, sit down, let me help you. A liar is going to be busy, and they cannot bring themselves to give a recommendation of accountability. If somebody's hit a parked car in a parking lot and you're talking to the person who did it, you say, wow, well, if we find the person who did this, what do you think we ought to do? Well, I don't know. Who knows what happened? I mean, it could have been an accident or whatever. If it's somebody that wasn't involved, I don't know, I think you ought to hang them. That's terrible to hit a car and drive off like that. But the person who did it, they just can't bring themselves to say it. They just can't bring themselves to say it. So ask. I mean, you'll get a lot of information by seeing what they'll buy into and recommend.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.